and then it outlived the expectations. Matthew Stafford, Sam Darnold, what a night. Pick it up early third quarter. Seahawks down 13-7, but not for long. Kenneth Walker III, Harry, they're not going to get him.
Anybody that has a Roman numeral after their last name, yeah, that guy's a good player.
Way to go, Doogie the fourth.
I. Seahawks take a 14-13 lead, but this has been the Achilles heel, Bart. We've been waiting to see it.
Front side, slants. You jump the first one, let the first one go, jump the second one. But look at Kenneth Walker, hustle plays, change game.
Yeah, Wallace with a big return, tackled down at the 1, but off the turnover, Darnold not happy. Rams looking to capitalize. Rams have a 1st and goal. That's Blake Corum. He punches it in. So the Rams have a 23-14 lead. And then final snap of the third quarter, same score. Rams on a 3rd and 3. Puka Nacua, what a night.
It was unbelievable. Guys, he had 225 yards last night in what was a very, very turbulent day and week for Puka Nacua. He was unbelievable on the field.
And that takes us to the 4th quarter, same drive. Rams 3rd and goal. Where's he throwing this? Did anyone watch this multiple? Just look at this.
I created this no-look stuff. Eat my beer, Patrick Mahomes.
That's the MVP
crazy
throw.
Work.
He thought it was, at least.
It felt like it was going to be. And then it was almost a certainty after Darnold was picked off down here at the other end by Kobe Turner. At this moment, the Seahawks had a 1.2% chance of winning this game, he said, in foreshadowing fashion, because then the craziness would begin. And Peter, you were telling me this morning, this might be Rashid Shaheed on the punt return, as big a play as we've seen.
This might be the biggest play of the NFL season. I don't say that with hyperbole. This punt return completely shifts and changes the entire NFC conference. And if you're looking at a big off-season or mid-season acquisition, Shaheed has been huge for Seattle.
They go for the 2 and get it. So it's 30-22, and then it's Darnold and Bart. A.J. Barner is wide open.
We call this the rollout throwback, dog. Reservation for 6. Here I come.
Seahawks down 30-28 pending the 2-point conversion. So now here comes the 2-point conversion. Oh, they didn't get it.
Uh-oh.
Right? Wrong. They throw a pass, it's incomplete, and Zach Charbonnet just sort of mindlessly picks it up, not thinking a whole lot about it. But wait just a minute, Peter, what's the rule?
One of the most bizarre calls of all time. It is ruled a lateral and then a pickup. That is a score. By the letter of the law, that is a 2-point conversion. Defensive players always recover the ball, no matter what.
It ties the game at 30, but now back comes Stafford, and it's Terrence Ferguson. And that's a big play. And there's unnecessary roughness on the play. So they tack on 15 more, and the Rams drive continues. And later in that drive, it's a 48-yard field goal. Harrison Mevis has not missed all year.
Kickers are people.
Check that. Harrison Mevis has now missed this year a critical miss for the Rams. McVay can't believe it. McDonald loves it. We're headed to overtime. In the overtime, who are you looking for, Bart, if you're Stafford right now?
I'm looking for Puka. Skinny Puka, fat Puka, it don't matter. He balling. Best receiver in the league right here.
41-yard touchdown, so easy. Stafford threw for 457.
Let him know, Poop.
So you know the rules. And they're down 7. They get one more chance here. They can go down and they can tie it or they can win it. And it's Darnold and it's just Cooper Kupp against his former team.
I love this bench route. Cooper Kupp, toe drag, shouty is what they call him. A valuable wide receiver, a guy that you can trust in the biggest moment.
Huge fumble against his former team earlier in the game, too.
And then the big receiver, of course, for this team is JSN. Jackson Smith and Jigba, 37-36.
Let's tie it up.
Why do they have to go for the 2?
They lost to him earlier in the season. You would lose the tiebreaker in the division if you don't go for 2 here.
So they have to go for the 2.
Unsung hero.
It's Eric Saubert. And oh my God, the Seahawks have won.
Where's my scouting
It's the
report?
first win in franchise history when trailing by 16 or more in the 4th quarter. Darnold threw for 144 yards and 2 touchdowns in the 4th quarter and overtime. The Seahawks clinch a playoff spot. They win an instant classic, 38-37. They are now in the driver's seat for the 1 seed in the NFC playoffs. Number 1 takeaway, Harry.
I thought Sam Darnold handled the adversity. It started to trend towards, oh, here we go again. Sam Darnold is seeing ghosts. I even tweeted that, oh, man, he's seeing ghosts again. And then Sam Darnold started throwing that football around. He started hanging in the pocket. I said, man, this was a huge win for him and his confidence because the last 3 games that he played against the Los Angeles Rams, all 3 of them was L's, and he didn't have the best of games. So shout out to him for facing that adversity, coming back, and making every throw necessary to be able to get this victory.
I worked in a press box for many, many years. I can tell you what was going on here. Around the 3rd quarter, after the 2nd interception, the Kobe Turner one, where they're down 16 points, you have the article written. Darnold can't win a big game. He pees down his leg whenever it matters. And once again, Darnold's going to hold a team back from getting to where they want to get. He completely rewrote his own narrative. Suddenly they are in the driver's seat in the NFC West. They are in the driver's seat in the NFC. And if you're looking at the landscape of the entire NFL, they might be in the driver's seat for the Super Bowl right now over the way he played over the final 15 minutes.
How about Mike McDonald, though? Telling them, hey, we're going to continue to go with you, Sam Darnold, infusing that confidence into the young quarterback. That last throw, cover 2, teardrop, that has to be the perfect Eli Manning drop into the zone, and he made it, right? And the belief that he can come out and still throw the football, 144 yards in the fourth quarter, and Jigba was shut down in the first half. Second half, he had 96 yards receiving on 8 receptions, and that's because they still believed in Sam Darnold to throw them back into the football game. And listen, you don't just win this type of game, right? And right here, this is the poise. Who had him as, this tight end as the
hero,
the main card, the hero, right?
Yeah.
But it always works that way. And you talk about, some guys on the other side lose it. You talk about the big punt return. You talk about the missed field goal. These are all things that happen. Did they win it or did the Rams lose it? That's the question they have to ask themselves. Now they find themselves in a tough spot, with San Francisco potentially having the opportunity to jump them.
They rewrote it, but if you don't get the punt return touchdown, if you don't get the missed field goal, if you don't get the fluky 2-point conversion, what ends up happening? You lose that game, and we're still saying the same thing today. The Rams just Matthew Stafford threw for what? 450 yards?
457.
No one has
457.
No interceptions.
457, no interceptions. No one's mentioned the fact Davante Adams didn't play. This is a Thursday game on the road in Seattle. They were in the driver's seat to win the game. They blew it. That's on them. They blew the Carolina game. I would be betting the Rams to win the NFC. I still think they're the team to win the NFC.
I agree with you, Joe, because when you look at the list of things that went wrong for the Rams in this ball game, early red zone woes, right? You had that missed touchdown throw to Puka Nacua by Matthew Stafford, a missed field goal, a penalty that took a touchdown away, then that punt return that you allowed to be returned for a touchdown. All those things happened, and the Rams still probably should have won this football.
But they need a lot of things to happen. I understand that, but this is too late.
They might have to go on the road the whole
I need to
playoffs.
ask that question, right, because this is late in the season. If this was week 5, I would be completely agreeing with you.
Right.
But we're talking about these teams have 2 games left in some cases, and the Rams are the ones who have, I'm not going to say no chance, but by far the least chance of having home field advantage.
Okay, so number one, you're still not dead to win the division, but let's assume you are. Where are you going for that first playoff game?
Tampa, Carolina.
Atlanta,
But here's the...
That's one. Go ahead.
But here's the difference, right? As a road warrior, somebody that always had to go on the road and play in road games, that's an extra game that maybe Seattle don't have to play. Injuries. And you talk about the injuries and things that happen and the fatigue that happens when you play playoff football.
Right, but finish the thought. So
everybody else,
you're a favorite in the first
You're
game.
going to be laying 7 in the first game at Atlanta, Tampa, Carolina, whoever it's going to be. You win that game, then who you're going to get next? Like all the way through, Green Bay's banged up, missing Micah Parsons. If it's the Bears, we all know that they're on shaky ground. The Eagles are a team nobody trusts. Ultimately, the path goes back through Seattle, where last night without Davante Adams,
I disagree. Joe, I think it's a
yards.
huge loss.
Yeah,
I think it's massive. If you have Davante Adams with a hamstring, you win last night. Maybe you don't have to rush him.
Get the rest.
You got to play these games. I think it matters.
Oh, there's no question it matters, but that doesn't mean they aren't the best team. The best team doesn't always win. I'm not sure the better team won last night, but that's not what matters. Right now, the Seahawks are in the driver's seat. We'll have much, much more. We told you it might have been the game of the year. Seattle changes everything. Instead of the Rams being nearly a lock to win the 1 seed, Seattle is now in the driver's seat, but they're certainly not a shoo-in. The 49ers play on Monday night against the Colts. If they win that game, they then would finish with 2 home games. If they win out, they win the division. They win the 1 seed because they play Seattle in that final game. And it's actually an interesting little note. The road to the Super Bowl and the Super Bowl would be in their stadium. So they literally, if they win Monday night, they could be in a position to win 5 consecutive games and win the championship, all of them played in their home stadium.
Something that hasn't been done since the Rams did it in 2021. Of course, they didn't go the entire playoffs. They came in as a wild card. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they also did, but no team has gone straight through home all the way. The Niners would be the team to do that.
So, Bart, you started saying you do not think that the team, whichever one it is that does not wind up winning the division, maybe we all think the Rams are the best team. I think that. But you're telling me that if they don't wind up getting that bye week and everything else, you don't think they wind up in the biggest game?
Yeah, I think it's difficult, especially with the hamstring. You rest on the hamstring of Davante Adams, like Doogie said, right? As you talk about the red zone and how much he was missed, because I think he has 14 touchdown receptions, this year, leads to NFL. It's tough to go on the road and play 3 games, physical games. Playoff intensity is so much different. And you talk about not being able to recover. Do you play on that Saturday or do you play on Sunday, then play on the Saturday, the short weeks again in the playoffs going against better competition? But I would say this, between Seattle and between the Rams, they are the most complete teams. I just can't trust that defense, and the inexperience, the inability to get to the passer when you talk about the San Francisco 49ers.
I disagree. I believe the Los Angeles Rams can travel and play anybody, anywhere, at any given time.
I agree with you, dude.
Whether it's cold, whether it's hot, it doesn't matter. Inside, outdoors. We got to remember, what I love about the Los Angeles Rams is that they have this 13 personnel. 1 back, 3 tight ends, 1 wide receivers. Mm-hmm. They were wearing Seattle out in 13 personnel last night. And we also have to remember, they did a great job of attacking a weakness for Seattle, the middle of the football field. Himbo sent me this stat. They had 17 receptions yesterday for 306 yards and 2 touchdowns in the middle of the football field. So I believe the Los Angeles Rams can be a team that's a wild card. It can go on a run and win 4 games.
Last night was one of the freakish games you'll ever see. It's the first time in NFL history a team threw for 450 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, and had a wide receiver go for 225 and lose. And they were up 16 points with 9 minutes left. So you say, well, that's not a big deal. You say you wash it out the window. But the implications are huge. To have to not have a home game, have to not be able to have home throughout the playoffs, to go on the road and have to do that journey, it is so much more difficult now when there's a bye for that 1 seed where they're the only team not having to play that wild card.
Teddy always says, Teddy Bruschi on Sundays, it's the single biggest advantage in sports, in any sport.
You sleep in
There's
your own
only
bed,
one bye.
you wake up, you go to the game, and you get to watch on that first wild card.
Exactly, and there's only the 1 bye. So what other bets came out of last night? Because you were telling me a lot of things get reshuffled.
The entire market shifted on just about anything. I mean, when you're talking about Offensive Player of the Year, it looked like JSN had that wrapped up. Puka's right behind him in receiving yards and receiving touchdowns right now. I'd still look to JSN. Remember, we got to handicap the voters here. Puka, as you said earlier in the show, a bit of a tumultuous week. How many voters are going to want to go with him? You've got Matthew Stafford MVP. That still looks like it's going to be something that happens right around minus 250. Mike McDonald, Coach of the Year, right up there behind Vrabel right now. Keep an eye on that.
Interesting.
But I'll tell you this. If it comes down to the last week of the year and the San Francisco 49ers, they get that 1 seed, that Coach of the Year should go to Kyle Shanahan.
If they wind up the 1 seed with everything they've lost, but they could.
We're just going to forget about Ben Johnson? We didn't even have the Bears in the playoffs.
But here's the thing. You lost your starting quarterback for multiple games. Your 2 best players and 2 of your highest paid players on defense and your entire team, Fred Warner, Nick Bosa, no longer
Liam Cohen is in Jacksonville waving his hand and saying, guys, what about us? There's a great group this year of candidates.